be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pigs. The people are going to have to stand up against the pigs.
This is the story of Fred Hampton, the man who terrified the FBI, not because he was violent, but because he was powerful, because he could unite poor people, black, white and Latino, under one message: power to the people. Support us by giving this video a like, because it helps our channel grow, and subscribe so you never miss any truth they wanted kept hidden. Now let's continue. Fred Hampton was born in 1948 in Illinois. By 21, he was already chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party. He fed children every morning before school. He built free clinics. He taught political education classes in the hood, telling people they could change their condition if they organized. He called it the Rainbow Coalition. The system called it a threat. The FBI called it COINTELPRO, a secret program created to destroy movements and leaders who could unite the oppressed. Their own memo said, "Prevent the rise of a black messiah," and Fred Hampton became that target. Inside the Panthers was an informant named William O'Neill, a young man recruited by the FBI. He drew the full layout of Fred's apartment. He gave agents every detail, and even the spot where Fred's bed was. The night before the raid, O'Neill fixed dinner for the Panthers and allegedly drugged Fred's drink. At 4:45 a.m. on December 4, 1969, a 14-man police team, backed by the FBI, kicked in the door. 80 to 90 shots were fired. Only one came from the Panthers. That one likely came from Mark Clark, who was killed instantly, while Fred Hampton was still asleep, drugged, next to his 8-month pregnant fiancée, Deborah Johnson, now known as Aku and Jerry. Bullets tore through the walls, the furniture, the floor. She later said, "I heard 2 shots, then I heard them say, 'He's good and dead now.'" Fred Hampton was just 21 years old, and was shot, 2 bullets to the head, point blank. The police claimed it was a shootout, but forensics proved the truth, saying, over 90 shots from the police and just 1 from the Panthers. Now, that's not a raid, that's an execution. Survivors testified later. Ronald Doc Satchel said machine gun fire ripped through the walls as they slept, while Ferlina Brewer said she was dragged out bleeding. These weren't militants firing at police, these were community workers ambushed in their sleep. For months the state called it justified. Headlines painted Fred as a criminal. But the evidence, the bullet holes, the autopsies, the FBI memos, told the real story. The FBI had set the stage, and the Chicago police pulled the trigger. After 13 years of court battles, the families of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark won a $1.85 million settlement, not justice, but proof the government had lied. Even the FBI admitted COINTELPRO had broken laws, forged letters, and spread false information to destroy black leadership. Fred Hampton was their biggest fear because he taught unity, self-defense, and dignity without apology.
Bobby Seale is going through all types of physical and mental torture. But that's all right, because we said even before this happened, and we're going to say it after this, and after I'm locked up, and after everybody's locked up, that you can jail revolutionaries, but you can't jail a revolution. Right. You might run a liberator like Eric Cleave out the country, but you can't run liberation out the country. You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighting, and if you do, you come up with answers that don't answer, explanations that don't explain, you come up with conclusions that don't conclude, and you come up with people that you thought should be acting like pigs, that's acting like people and moving on pigs, and that's what we've got to do. So we're going to see about Bobby, regardless of what these people think we should do, because school is not important and work is not important. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism, because fascism will stop us all.
You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. Those words weren't just defiance, they were prophecy. Because every time his name is spoken, that revolution breathes again. Understand what made Fred dangerous wasn't guns, it was love for his people. He made the oppressed believe they could win. He crossed color lines, class lines, and told the poor, "We got more in common than we got apart." That alone terrified the system.
Not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism, and we know that racism is just a byproduct of capitalism.
If we don't hate the motherfucking white people, we hate the oppressor, whether he be white, black, brown, or yellow.
We're going to fight racism, not with racism, but we're going to fight with solidarity. We said we're not going to fight capitalism with black capitalism, but we're going to fight it with socialism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people, and we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. And these people in this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black, and I hate white people. I'm white, and I hate black people. I'm Latin American, and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly, and I hate Indians. So we fight amongst each other. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism, because fascism will stop us all. That's the people's thing. Socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself.
His death wasn't an accident, it was a message. This is what happens when you wake the people up. But today, telling this story is how we fight back. Because when you know the truth, you can't be controlled. Fred Hampton didn't die in vain. He lives in every movement that refuses silence. In every child that eats because somebody cared enough to feed them. In every voice that says, I am a revolutionary. So if you hear this and feel something burning in your chest, don't let it fade. That's Fred speaking through time. Stand on it, speak on it. Live like the truth matters, because it does. Do not forget to support us by giving this video a like, because it helps our channel grow and helps us create more solid videos like this. Please share this video so it reaches every African worldwide, and subscribe so you never miss any truth they wanted kept hidden. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
Anyway, you understand what I'm saying? With no education, you have neo-colonialism instead of colonialism, like you got in Africa 9, like you got in Haiti. So what we're talking about is there has to be an educational program. That's very important. As a matter of fact, it's so important for us that a person has to go through 6 weeks of our political education before he can consider himself a member of the party, able to even run down ideology for the party. Why? Because if they don't have an education, then they're nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? They're nowhere because they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. You might get people caught up in the emotionalist movement. You understand me? You might get them caught up in because they're poor and they want something. And then if they're not educated, they want more, and before you know it, they'll be capitalists, and before you know it, we have Negro imperialists.